Hello, I'm James Lim, founder of the Property P.L.U.S System, and today actually I'll be sharing with you 3 bedrooms value buy in Singapore right now. Okay, and these are actually new properties that I would like to recommend to you. Now, when I choose all these properties at a time, I do look at several factors. Okay, like number 1, near distance to train station. Number 2, any particular specific unique selling point that these projects have. Number 3, of course, I do look at the overall quantum in terms of pricing. Number 4, I do look at the per square foot pricing. Okay, and also when I look at all this at the time, I also consider what are the main selling point and how well will they be able to fetch a good price in future. So these are roughly around 10 properties I would like to recommend to you, and these are actually specifically going for 3 bedrooms. So now for 3 bedrooms, buyers normally they are buying for homestay, likely they are HDB upgraders or condominium upgraders. From a 2 bedroom, so it is less in terms of like renting out, but more for staying over a period of 5-10 years later, and then you sell, you have a very good profit. Okay, and from this list itself, I actually removed quite a number of properties, which I left about 10 to 12 properties that I would like to recommend to you. So without further ado, I'll be actually sharing these properties with you, and they are in alphabetical order, not because of from best to worst. Okay, and you will notice that I will be consistently talking about especially about the PSF and also the pricing. Okay, so these are my 2 conditions that I would like to focus on. So let's move on. Okay, now the first property I would like to recommend to you is actually Bartley View. Now Bartley View is actually a 3 minutes walk to Bartley MRT station itself, and Bartley MRT station itself is actually along the yellow line. So I like properties that actually along the yellow line because it leads directly to the CBD area. So these properties are normally much hotter, more popular, higher demand, and it has a better resale value. Okay, so and they are more highly sought after. So Bartley over here, I'd like to recommend to you this unit that is 0511. So 0511 for a 3 bedroom, right, is like 1066 square feet, and the price is like 2.05 million. That is actually just shy of 2.1 million, so and the PSF is like 1,900. So in today's context, I always tell my clients that if you can find a new condominiums that is like below 2,000 per square foot, there's really not a lot in the market right now. Just grab, these are the properties that you must grab one, because it's really very, very hard to find all this type of pricing of PSF. But then again, I do understand that with lower PSF at the time, right, the overall price may be high. But this Bartley View, because it's launched a couple of years ago, right, okay, the developer never really changed the price. That's why I find this to be really very, very, very attractive. Okay, so let's move on to my second recommendation, which is called Blossom by the Park. Now, Blossom by the Park is actually located 3 minutes walk away from Buona Vista MRT station, and it is actually called like the Silicon. That area is actually one north is called the Silicon Valley of Singapore. Okay, so it is also a very highly sought after property that a lot of youngsters, a lot of people is actually moving into this area. Okay, and it is very hard to get properties in this area. Okay, so the PSF of course is slightly higher, but again, if you look at my previous video, this is actually one of my top 5 recommended properties. Okay, so on the 27th floor, because it's a totally unblocked view, and the 3 bedroom is like 2.8 million, 2.84 million, and the PSA is like 2,300 2317 per square foot, and you can see from here that the price actually goes up to like 2,600 plus per square foot. So this unit on a high floor, at this style of pricing, I find it very, very attractive. So you can see also the next one is like 23rd floor. Okay, something that's lower floor, although it's cheaper, but the PSA is higher. So again, I keep recommending that you should be looking at PSF for this development. This is really a very, very value buy if you're looking at getting a higher floor unit, yet is actually at a much lower PSF. So the next one I'd like to recommend you is actually Grand Diamond. So Grand Diamond is actually located directly next to Dakota MRT station itself, and Dakota MRT station itself, is also is very, very good because it's actually at a very prestigious location. Now, Grand Diamond is actually for people who are actually looking for space. So if you are looking for a big space, like this 3 bedroom is like 1,400 square feet. Okay, this project is actually for you. So again, this project is for people who want near MRT station and they want the size. Okay, very huge rooms. Okay, so where you can't find like close to 1,500 square feet in today's 3-bedroom context, you really cannot find all. So most 3-bedroom context in Singapore is like around between 800 plus to 1200 square feet, and now this is like 1400 square feet. So of course the price, because of the total size of it, is much higher. Okay, so I'd like to recommend to you this unit that is actually like close to 3.5 million, and you know the PSF actually very attractive because you can see from here is like the prices go up to 2007, close to 2800 PSF. Okay, but yet I'm recommending you something that is on the quite reasonable on the 11th floor, yet the price is like 2300 square feet per square foot. So at this type of per square foot pricing, it is actually very attractive. So just to let you know that if you are really going for value buy, you should be actually going for this unit. Now the next one I'd like to recommend you is HeHouse. Now HeHouse actually located at District 9. So this project is particularly for people, okay, especially youngsters, you know, who like to stay in the CBD area, in the District 9 location for, you know, prestigious address, you know, near a lot of amenities, you know, near Orchard Road itself also. So this is in District 9. I would like to recommend to you this 05 unit, 0506 unit, and it's a 3-bedroom at 753 square feet. Yes, you may say that is small, okay, so but the good news is that although it is small, right, you know, it's like a 2-bedroom, but the price for a freehold is very attractive. You know, Orchard Road properties, you know, generally cost between 3 to 4,000 per square foot, you know, and you know, right now you can see that the price is actually at 2.3 million. You can even consider this like a 2-bedroom. You know, knock down one wall, it becomes like a 2-bedroom, and you know, a 2-bedroom you can get at 2.3 million at close to 3,000 PSF. I think it is someone is freehold, you know, it's really a very good buy for Orchard Road area. Okay, of course I do have bigger units, but of course this type of prices go like 3,500, 3,600 per square foot, which I don't find that attractive right now in today's market. So if you are going for a good location, no, you can actually consider HeHouse. Now the next I'd like to recommend you is actually Key Residences. Now Key Residences is actually a 999 leasehold property, 999, okay? And because this is launched many years ago, around the COVID period, and Key Residences, you know, is going to TOP soon. So for people who cannot wait, you know, they want to get a unit itself fast, you know, you can actually look at this one. So at close to 1,000 square feet, you know, it's like 2.3 million. Okay, and you know the PSA is like 2,300 per square foot. So I find this actually a very value buy. Now you may tell me that, hey James, why is there 2 other units right over here that is like cheaper, you know, on the 12th floor, higher floor, and yet the PSF actually lower? Now don't forget that this is all 3-bedroom plus yard. So which means these 3 developments actually, these 3 units, the size is actually the same. Okay, but why is these 2 size bigger? Is because they are double volume, you know, on the 12th floor is higher ceiling, therefore you actually buy the air space. And you know, if you are buying air, right, that's why the overall PSF is actually lower. So I don't find this I don't find these 2 units is good, is attractive. In fact, when I did my calculation just based on the land space itself, I find that this one is actually more attractive. So this is something of I think is a value buy, that 999 leasehold property at 2,300 per square foot, you can't get this in right now in today's market, you know, and this is something like a freehold already. Now the next one I'd like to recommend to you is actually Lor Here Residences. Now Lor Here Residences is for people, you know, it is like located near the MRT station. So for people who want near MRT station, they want convenience, you know, what else? They have a slight budget constraint, okay? So if you are looking for this, actually I recommend you this unit 0324. 0324 3-bedroom, right? Okay, it's like close to 1,000 square feet, and it's just shy of like 2 million, okay? And you know the price is like 2,000 PSF. So I find this is also another value buy, because it's actually, although it crossed the 2,000 mark, but it's actually just $6 more only. So I find this to be a very attractive buy, this unit. Okay, so this is Lor Here Residences. Next one I'd like to recommend to you is Pine Tree Here. Now Pine Tree Here is more for a specific group of clients, you know, who wants this project is actually not near the MRT station, but the main selling point is actually 1 kilometer away from Henry Park Primary. Okay, this development is also developed by UOL, and UOL actually has a very strong track record of selling properties that are not near the MRT station, like Principal Gardens, but they give a very huge landscaping, okay, where you know it is very spacious. there's not a lot of residences, and a lot of the units there is basically unblocked view. So if you are looking for somewhere that is highly prestigious, unblocked view, you know, near just the border of the core central region, you know, you can actually consider this unit. So for this development, I actually put a slightly higher up. I put on the 9th floor because you have a better unblocked view. Okay, at 1,200 square feet, you know, it's just shy of 3 million, you know, at 2.95 million. And the price, again, I choose something that's actually also very attractive at 2,400 square feet. Per square foot, as compared to units over here that's going for as high as 2,600 plus per square foot. Okay, so this I consider an attractive buy. Now let's look at the next one is Sona Residences. Now Sona Residences was actually, I believe, launched 2 years ago. And for Sona Residences, right, I actually recommend you this 8th floor unit. Okay. Now Sona Residences is just directly outside of Tanah Merah MRT station. Okay, and it is also a mixed development. So for a 3-bedroom, you know, it's like close to 2.47 million. At 2.47 million, which the PSF is like 2,288 per square foot. Again, I choose something that is worth entering into. So yes, you may say that, hey James, this property doesn't seem to be, you know, not below the 2,000 mark. But then again, don't forget, you want to find something that is like next to a train station, near good schools, mixed development. Wow, at this pricing for mixed development, you can't get it. Okay, you look all the way to the west, you know, Jayden. Okay, Jayden is not in my list. I removed Jayden from it. Why? Because Jayden, you know, is the former J Cube mixed development near train station. What is the pricing in the west area? Like 2,600 per square foot and above, or 2,700 per square foot. So going for this on the east side, and it's not even at the extreme east. You know, for mixed development, I find this to be a very attractive pricing. Okay, the next one is actually called Terahere Residences. Now, Terahere itself, if you look at my earlier videos, I did recommend you this development. Okay, I recommend you 2 to 3 bedrooms for Terahere. Now, I like Terahere personally is because it is a freehold development. So if you are a client, you know, a buyer who are looking for freehold near MRT station, 3 minutes walk to the MRT station itself, I would actually strongly recommend this to you. Okay, but of course, if you like to stay high floor, because this development is only like 5-story high, if you like to stay high floor, this development is definitely not for you. But then again, coming back again, if you are looking for something that is very rare, freehold, that is near MRT station, go for this development. Okay, because you can hardly find freehold that is near MRT station itself. So this development, again, let's look at the pricing. You know, it's just like a 2.46 million, below 2.5 million mark, and the pricing is like 2,500 PSF. So looking at this development, you can see that prices go as high as 2,700 per square foot. Yet I'm actually recommending you something that's 2,500 per square foot. Okay, so Terahere is something freehold that you can actually look for. Okay, so you'll see that there's not many freehold properties around here. Okay, another one I just want to talk about is actually the Arden. Okay, so when this development was launched at the time, I was actually rubbing my eyes and say, why is it so cheap, you know? But then again, let's look at this. Now, for the Arden at time, you know, it's located at Bukit Panjang. Although it's not located near the MRT station, but it's actually located walking distance from the LRT station. Okay, and it's like 1141 size. Okay, and the PSF here you can see is 1,600. Come on, you cannot find any new developments right now at 1,600 per square foot. Okay, this is the lowest of the lowest per square foot for new developments in the entire Singapore. Okay, and because of the size wise, okay, do understand because of the size wise, therefore the price is like 1.8 million. So if you are very PSF sensitive, you know, go for this one. Okay, this is something that I also would want to recommend to my clients. Again, I keep repeating myself. I always tell this to my clients right now in today's market. If you see a property that's below 2,000 PSF, just grab. Okay, these are what I call very valuable buys. Okay, next, I just want to share with you is called the Botany. Now, the Botany is not near the MRT station. Therefore, the PSF is actually very attractive. And because of that, this development is actually for people who have a car and for nature lovers. Okay, because it is located in a very nice area that you can overlook the reserve, okay, the nature reserve. Okay, so for people who like who are PSF sensitive and who has a car, you know, is a 2 bus ride to the train station. So it's still quite convenient. But let's look at the prices, okay? At 2.05 million on the 9th floor, okay? You can go for something that is below 1,900 per square foot. So this I consider another very value buy for people or HDB upgraders, okay? So this is something very attractive. You want size, cheap, low PSF, go for this. Now, the next is actually a freehold development, okay? So in one of my earlier videos, someone commented was asking about whether Continuum as a freehold, can we buy it or not? Because in my earlier videos, I did talk about Continuum versus Grand Diamond, okay? Grand Diamond is actually 99 leasehold and Continuum is actually freehold. And yet, right, you are able to find some exact units that Continuum, although freehold, is like even cheaper than 99 leasehold property. Okay, so where it doesn't start to make sense already. Okay, so he was asking whether 3-bedroom can buy or not. I will say yes, you can buy the Continuum 3-bedroom. Okay, but again, you can't look at all the units. So for the Continuum, I would like to recommend to you one unit. Okay, this is one particular unit that I would strongly recommend. It's actually 0311. Okay, at 106 square feet, you know, you can go for 2.8 million. Okay, so just now, if you remember, scroll up to my earlier earlier section where I'm talking about Grand Diamond. Grand Diamond, I was actually recommend to you size at 1,400 square feet. Size, you know, you are going for 3.5 million. But then again, you know, if size is not your main criteria, go for this because I find this is actually a value buy at 2,600 PSF, okay, at 2.8 million. Now, look at the pricing over here. You know, it's just shy of 3,000 PSF, and yet I'm recommending you do something as 2,600 square PSF. So you know, when you are comparing this with the rest of the development, with the rest of the units in the Continuum, at 2,600 is actually a very attractive prices. Okay, just imagine your neighbor next time selling at 3,200 PSF. Okay, how much profit can you fetch if you buy at 2,006? So I will actually recommend this unit to you if you are looking for freehold. Okay, so just now earlier I did mention another freehold development called Terahere. So you can see that the PSF roughly is about the same, but then again, Terahere is actually nearer to the train station. That is why in my last video when I talked about my top 5 recommended properties, I did share with you that I still recommend Terahere as compared to the Continuum. Okay. Now, Lake Gardens is also another very interesting project. Lake Gardens is actually located 8 minutes away from Lakeside MRT station, okay? And some people will say it's not near the train station, but it's fine. It's fine. It's because I always look at the prices and the PSF also, okay? And for people who, this project is like you are banging on to the high-speed rail in future, you know, 10, 20 years down the road. And for people who like to stay in the west side, okay? So looking at this one, I can actually share 2 units. 0312 and 0412. So for these 2 development is a 3-bedroom plus study, which is basically like close to a 4-bedroom. So for 4-bedroom development, right, you know, like close to 1100 square feet, at close to 2.2 million, you know. But you look at the PSF in the west side, you know, PSF below 2,000, and yet Jayden, that is a mixed development, going for 2,600, 2,700 per square foot. Prices start to doesn't make sense over here already. So I find this to be a very attractive buy if you like west side projects. Okay, and don't forget with the high-speed rail coming up, no, I'm not sure when. Then again, definitely the price will have a very great appreciation. Okay, the next I would like to recommend to you is actually the Mist. Now, the Mist is not it's not near the train station itself, but then again, the Mist is I would consider the Mist is like currently Treasure at Tampines, you know, something similar to it. Okay, now I find this to be very attractive because this is by a very good developer. Number 1 developer of Southeast Asia is actually CDL. Okay, so this is developed by CDL, which means they give you the quality of finishing is actually very premium. It has very good design layout. Okay, so if you are if you stay in that location, you know, you like that, you're okay with not near the MRT station, I'll strongly recommend you this unit at 1163 square feet. You will notice that it is actually very spacious. When I enter the unit at time and I see that time I did a walk around, I was like, wow, the amount of space saving is so good, you know. I feel like I'm walking to a 1,300 or 1,400 square feet size of a 3-bedroom, okay, or like a 4-bedroom itself, okay. So, you know, a 3-bedroom premium plus a study is close to like a 4-bedroom. The price is 2.2 million. Now, again, for a high-end development at below 2,000 PSF, I really find this to be a very value buy. Okay, so this will be very, when you sell that time next time in future, likely the buyers is going to be HDB upgraders, and I do foresee that the profit for this, okay, to be very high, like easily 20 to 30% profit within the next 5 years. Okay, I'm pretty certain of it because I did sell similar properties that are not near MRT station. HDB upgraders are the ones who buy into these type of properties, you know, and I find this to be very attractive because the main selling point is still developer, CDL, okay, which give you very top-notch quality finishing. Okay, so there you have it. These are my list of maybe about 10 to 12 properties that I curated out. Okay, I'll share with you two more that is for EC. Okay, EC is exactly condo for people with a household income of 16,000 and below. So now EC also has very good value buys. So of course there's only 2 ECs here, and there's one more ECs coming up soon. You know, and so this year, okay, so other than that, there's no other ECs, okay? So if you qualify for EC, you know, I really encourage you to go for EC itself. So the first one is actually Altura. Now, the average price for EC, I'll still say is around 1,400 to 1,400 plus per square foot, okay? So on this Altura, right now, really, you don't have a choice, you know, not much selection or units left. At 980 square feet, you know, is at 1.4 million. So right now, if you are very budget constrained, okay, although the PSF is at 1,400, it's cheaper than, yes, the private condominiums, okay? But then again, I consider this PSF to be very average, okay? But then again, although the PSF is average, the price is attractive at 1.4 million, you can get a 3-bedroom development, okay? But then again, of course, you look at Altura at Bukit Batok and compared to North Gaya at Yishun itself, I find that this is really a very strong value buy. So I just give you some numbers lah, okay? So you can see that some units itself, you know, you can get a 3-bedroom at 1.2 million that's brand new. You can't get this anymore else. Okay, even there's new EC launches in the future, whether it's at Tampines or Tengah or Bukit Batok itself. We already know the average PSF is going to be 1,400 plus. You know, average we are looking at is 1,450. But yet, if you look at these 3-bedroom prices, you know, you can get a 3-bedroom that is below 1.2 million. You know, PS is at 1,200 per square foot. It is really a very value buy if you ask me, if you are looking for executive condominiums. Okay, so there you have it. I've actually recommend to you around 14 properties, I guess, and these are I curated itself. These are the ones that I strongly recommend to my clients. Now, if you want to have more further information, just do feel free to either WhatsApp me in my information below, or you can actually comment section below. Even if you want to see the show flat, do feel free to drop me a message on WhatsApp, and I can actually arrange show flat viewing, and I can give you even more in-depth analysis for it. Okay, so instead of right now, due to time constraint, I only can recommend you one unit in one development. But of course, when we go down to the show flat itself, I will actually give you a range of maybe 5 to 8 properties for you to choose from, and I'll actually explain to you individually and slowly why I would select a certain units itself. So if you want to have this price list, no, feel free by all means, drop me a WhatsApp message. I can also send it to you also. So there you have it. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, do give a thumbs up button, and do remember to subscribe for more weekly recommended properties. Thank you so long, and bye.